Help me, please. I'm so scared. He's going to hurt me. Hurry!
Chloe, stay on the phone with me. I think this driver is taking a different road. Rain slammed violently against the car windows as streetlights flashed across Chloe Bennett's frightened face. Her trembling fingers tightened around the phone, pressed against her ear while she stared at the navigation screen again. The route had changed. Again. "Wait," she whispered nervously. "Why did he lock the doors?" For a moment, only silence answered her. Then the driver smiled faintly through the rearview mirror. "You should have stayed home tonight." At 11:42 p.m. on a cold Friday night, 23-year-old Chloe Bennett left a crowded restaurant in downtown Seattle after celebrating her friend Mia's birthday. Witnesses later described Chloe as cheerful that evening, relaxed, laughing constantly, completely unaware that within the next hour, her disappearance would trigger a statewide investigation and terrify thousands of people online. Chloe wasn't reckless. She wasn't careless. She was a graduate student studying digital marketing while balancing 2 part-time jobs to survive rising rent prices. Friends described her as responsible, cautious, and independent, the type of person who always texted when she got home safely, the type of person who carried pepper spray in her purse, the type of person who checked the back seat before entering her car, which is why what happened that night confused investigators for months, because by all accounts, Chloe did everything right. Rain poured heavily across the city as people slowly exited the restaurant around midnight. Most of Chloe's friends left in groups. Some called rides, others walked toward nearby parking garages. Mia offered Chloe a ride home twice. Both times, Chloe politely refused. Her apartment was only 20 minutes away, and she didn't want her friend driving across the city during the storm. At 12:06 a.m., Chloe stood underneath the restaurant awning and opened a rideshare app on her phone. The prices were outrageous, nearly triple the normal fare because of the weather. She sighed in frustration and checked her battery percentage, 9%. That's when a cheaper ride option appeared from a newer driver nearby. His profile name was Daniel Harper, 5-star rating, no complaints, no warning signs, at least none that Chloe could see. The black sedan arrived 6 minutes later. At first glance, nothing seemed unusual. The car matched the app description, the license plate matched, and the driver appeared calm and professional, mid-30s, clean jacket, soft-spoken. But security footage later reviewed by investigators captured something strange. As Chloe approached the car, she hesitated briefly, almost like she suddenly felt uncertain. The driver leaned across the passenger seat and unlocked the door manually, then smiled. Witnesses later said Chloe seemed uncomfortable for only a second before climbing inside. That second would haunt investigators later. At first, the ride felt completely normal. Soft music played quietly through the speakers. Rain tapped rhythmically against the windshield. The driver made casual conversation. School, work, the weather, nothing alarming. Then he started asking more personal questions. Did she live alone? Did she have roommates? Did anyone expect her home tonight? Chloe answered carefully at first, but something about his tone began making her nervous. Not what he asked, how he asked it, like he already knew the answers. About 10 minutes into the ride, Chloe glanced down at the navigation map on her phone. Her stomach tightened immediately. The route line had changed. They were no longer heading toward her apartment. At first, she assumed traffic or road closures caused the detour, but then she noticed something else. The driver had turned off the rideshare tracking feature. The app suddenly displayed poor connection. Outside the windows, the city lights slowly disappeared. The streets became quieter, darker, less familiar. Chloe finally spoke up. I think we missed the turn." The driver kept his eyes on the road. "No," he replied calmly. "This route is faster." Chloe's breathing became shallow. Without letting the driver notice, she opened her messages and texted Mia. "Something feels wrong. Something feels wrong." The text delivered slowly as rain intensified outside the car. Streetlights became fewer. The roads grew darker. and the city slowly disappeared behind them. Mia replied almost instantly, "Call the police." But Chloe hesitated. Maybe she was overreacting. Maybe the signal really was bad. Maybe the driver was telling the truth. Then the locks clicked. Every door inside the car locked simultaneously. Chloe looked up immediately. Why did the doors lock? The driver smiled faintly through the rearview mirror. "Safety," he said calmly. Outside, there were no more stores, no gas stations, no pedestrians, only long, empty roads stretching into darkness. Chloe quietly pressed the emergency button inside the rideshare app. Nothing happened. No signal. That's when she realized her phone battery had dropped to 2%. Panicking now, Chloe called Mia directly. The call connected for only a few seconds. Rain crackled loudly through the speaker. "Mia," Chloe whispered. "I think something's wrong." "Chloe, where are you?" "I don't know." The driver suddenly glanced toward her and smiled again. Then the call disconnected completely. At 12:41 a.m., Chloe's phone location stopped moving entirely. By morning, her friends had already contacted police. At first, investigators assumed technical issues. Dead battery, bad signal. Maybe Chloe stayed with someone overnight. But Mia knew something wasn't right. Chloe never disappeared without explanation. Never. When detectives reviewed the rideshare account information, they discovered something terrifying. The driver profile Chloe entered that night didn't exist anymore. The account had vanished completely less than 1 hour after her trip began. The investigation exploded online within days. News stations shared Chloe's smiling graduation photos across national broadcasts. Social media users analyzed every detail of her final messages. Internet forums became obsessed with one question: who was driving the car? Police traced the vehicle description through traffic cameras across the city. Eventually, one blurry highway camera captured a black sedan entering an isolated industrial area outside Seattle around 12:34 a.m. But the vehicle never appeared leaving the area. Search teams immediately flooded the location. Abandoned warehouses, empty construction lots, flooded fields, but no sign of Chloe was ever found. Then investigators uncovered something deeply disturbing. 3 other women had reported eerily similar rideshare experiences over the previous year. Wrong routes, disconnected tracking, personal questions, locked doors. But unlike Chloe, they escaped. One woman reported jumping from a slowly moving vehicle at a stoplight. Another claimed the driver became aggressive after she pretended to call police. And all 3 descriptions matched the same man. Mid-30s, calm voice, friendly smile, black sedan. As the case gained national attention, investigators began searching deeper into fake rideshare accounts connected to stolen identities. What they discovered shocked even experienced detectives. The profile photo used for Daniel Harper belonged to a man living in another state who had never driven for any rideshare company in his life. His identity had been stolen months earlier. The phone number attached to the account led nowhere. The payment methods were fake, and the vehicle registration connected to the black sedan turned out to be cloned from another car entirely. Whoever had taken Chloe knew exactly how to disappear. Weeks passed, then months. Rain continued falling across Seattle as Chloe's missing person posters slowly faded on street corners and bus stops. But Mia refused to give up. She replayed Chloe's final voicemail constantly, listening carefully to every second, searching for anything investigators might have missed. Then one night, nearly 4 months after Chloe vanished, Mia noticed something terrifying hidden beneath the sound of rain. Another voice, very faint, almost impossible to hear. Not the driver, someone else inside the car. At first, investigators believed the sound might have been radio interference, but enhanced audio analysis suggested otherwise. The voice appeared human, male, quietly whispering something from somewhere deeper inside the vehicle, which raised a horrifying possibility. Chloe may not have been alone with just the driver that night. The theory changed the entire investigation. Detectives now believed the fake rideshare operation could involve multiple people working together, a coordinated system. One person driving, another hiding, watching, waiting. Investigators searched abandoned properties connected to the industrial district where the sedan was last seen. Most searches revealed nothing, until one detective entered an abandoned repair warehouse scheduled for demolition. Inside, officers discovered evidence that immediately sealed off the entire building as a crime scene. Old food containers, blankets, disposable phones, and dozens of rideshare company stickers scattered across a dirty workbench. But the most disturbing discovery waited in a locked back office. Detectives forced the door open late that evening. Inside the room sat a table covered with photographs. Women entering cars, women leaving restaurants, women standing alone outside bars, stores, and apartment buildings. Some photos appeared to be taken weeks before the victims disappeared. Others showed timestamps matching active missing persons investigations from multiple states. And among the photographs, investigators found Chloe, standing underneath the restaurant awning on the night she vanished. The image appeared zoomed in from a distance, like someone had been watching her long before she entered the car. Then detectives noticed another detail. Several photos contained handwritten notes, descriptions of routines, schedules, locations, who lived alone, who usually traveled at night, who carried self-defense tools, who appeared easiest to isolate. The realization horrified investigators. These victims were not chosen randomly. They had been studied, carefully, patiently, for months. Despite the disturbing discoveries, Chloe Bennett was never found. Neither was the man using the fake identity of Daniel Harper. The case remains unsolved to this day. Some believe the operation extended far beyond Seattle. Others believe the suspects are still active, hiding behind fake accounts and stolen identities. But one detail continues haunting everyone involved in the investigation. During Chloe's final call, just seconds before the line disconnected completely, Mia later claimed she heard Chloe whisper one final sentence, a sentence investigators were never able to confirm officially. He's not the only one in the car. To this day, nobody knows exactly what happened after that moment, and somewhere out there, the black sedan was never recovered.